All right. So going back to what I mentioned about the battle arenas and how, in my opinion, they should take whatever your best performance was and then count that towards your reward for the end of each tournament season. Last night was a pretty good example of this. If I go in and look, 4462 is my trophy count. And as you can see, I'm in Lockwood Estates. Now here's the funny part about all this. Last night, there was probably like 7 hours to go in the tournament season and it was time for me to go to bed. I was within 2 wins of being at, believe it or not, 4750. 2 wins of being within 4750. And I lost every single game I played last night. So I woke up and started a new incubator, and then I played like 3 or 4 more games, and I lost all those. And it's just one of those situations where if a crit from my opponent will take out a one hit one of my dinosaurs, it happens. And my Indoraptor doesn't dodge 3 times, it doesn't dodge twice, and it doesn't dodge at all. And so it ends up being a situation where it just completely gets wrecked. One thing that I've learned and discovered is, yesterday, did you dart your Allen-Kylosaurus? Because I did. And when it went out on the wing, that was impossible to hit. It was so unlike and just nothing that I expected. I think I got 102, and I was actually pretty excited about getting 102. But I was running this dinosaur because I like the swap in instant invincibility. I thought it was a pretty good little tank until I realized it can't knock anything out, like at all. And unless your opponent has a dinosaur that's one hit from being knocked out, it just, and maybe it's just the way that I was using it, but I had to swap that out because it was doing nothing good at all. And I will say, this is the team that is lost basically like 300 straight trophies, but I will say it's too fast. And you know, I can get dealt a pretty brutal team if I have my Dracorex Gen 2, if I have my Dilorchirus on the field, and then if I have my Delta, it gets pretty ugly pretty quickly because nothing can really sustain much of a hit. And so I'm completely reliant on whatever my 4th dinosaur is, whittling down my opponent's dinosaurs to the point where I can bring in something, but then Superiority Strike just completely demolishes my team. And it's super ugly. Like, it's ugly. So I know that my team has some weaknesses. I just put in Raja back in just for the counter strike. And truthfully, I'm kind of like, look at all these dinosaurs I have at level 20, and I'm scared to take anything past 20 at this point. Just, you know, 1.6 should be coming. I mean, I haven't heard of 1.6 coming out, so maybe it's still at least a month away. I'm not really working on anything, but my team needs a lot of help. So if you guys are in that same situation, the good news is the tournament season is over. The bad news is that we don't know when the next tournament season is going to begin or when 1.6 will begin. So having said all that, I'm going to jump in, and I got to kind of try to right the ship a little here. Now I will say that my trophies here are actually up 30 from where they were for their low, because I actually did win my last battle. And it's amazing. I remember when I was in the 44 range that you didn't see a whole lot of level 20s and you didn't see a whole lot of unique dinosaurs. But the last opponent I played had all uniques, but they were all level 21. And quite honestly, just really didn't know how to use them very well. Is probably the only reason why I won. And I did get a fortunate crit, so I think I won 2-1 and gained 30 trophies out of that. So definitely the threshold to reaching different levels is vastly improving. With all of that being said, I have my coffee. It rained all night and most of this morning, but it's great outside in Southern California right now, and I think gonna ease back into this. I ended up taking basically 2 weeks off. It was not a scheduled 2 weeks off, I completely assure you, but it ended up being close to 2 weeks off, and fortunately not a lot happened. I don't feel like I missed too much, but it is definitely time to get back into the swing of things, and 2019 should be an amazing year for this channel. First of all, what I like to do here is I actually like to start off with Trico. The reason why is because it's one of my only immune dinosaurs, and it might be, well, I use Indominus Rex on occasion, not a whole lot, but it's immune. And so for that reason alone, I like to use it. Let's see if I can survive. No. There you go, there's the instant charge. But I like to use the immune dinosaurs because so many people love to run Spinotosaurus, the bleeder, to open with. And it kind of, if I don't get crit, which happens quite a bit, but it's just better than putting in a tank and having the tank, oh, this is terrible for my opponent, but it's better than putting in a tank and having the tank get bled to death. So like instant distraction will be fine for my opponent, but the instant shield is going to be terrible. It does have counterattack. And I'm just going to, my Draco Rex Gen 2 does 1876, so remember that, because that'll probably come into play here. Not sure that Thagomizer really does a whole lot, and this should be the knockout. Like, legit should be the knockout, and fortunately it was. Up 2-1, feel pretty good about this so far. Tragodistus, okay. I'm gonna get Rampage Chair. Hopefully I can survive. I don't think I will though. Level 23, barely. And I'm gonna get knocked out here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bait my opponent. So I'm going to, actually I can't even bait my opponent. This is actually gonna be perfect because we can get a setup move. So I'm gonna go pounce. My opponent basically has to swap out or they lose. So when they swap out, then that's gonna free me up to do the impact and run into Draco Rex Gen 2, which is going to produce a knockout for me. So this is actually what I really enjoy about this team, is when you can get an impact and run, and basically my opponent's never going to get a turn with their Raja. So here we go with Draco Rex 2. Like I said, 1876 is the number that we're going to get here, and there's your victory. So already starting off much better than we finished, and like I got 34 trophies out of that, when honestly my team was vastly superior to my opponent's team. So I'm gonna battle again to try to get out of Lockwood Estate. Remember, in the code there is 2 more battle arenas to come. We may have been hinted at a battle arena to come in a previous tweet. It kind of looked like a different scene from the Jurassic World movies. So, and then if you just look at the stars underneath the logo for each arena, I think we're at 3, I'll look in a minute, hopefully I win this, but Sorna Marshes, I think, is it Sorna Marshes? God, I don't even remember. No, it's not Sorna Marshes. I'll have to look, but I think it's 3 stars and they're like platinum, maybe. So I feel like we have 2 more to go. Now I have to think. I'm gonna go with Cleansing Impact, because what this is gonna do is, whenever my opponent comes off of Cloak, it'll leave me with my bigger attack left. But as you see, I didn't dodge anything there, so it hurt a lot. If my opponent had hit crit, then I would have been knocked out without ever taking a swipe at my opponent, which is the risk you run when you go for evasive or cloak on turn 1. And now we're gonna get the swap in invincibility. Obviously this isn't going to do any damage. I think I'm just going to take the loss here and go for the damage on my opponent, because I can put so much damage down on my opponent. I'm willing to sacrifice there, especially with 108. If I'd had full health, I definitely would not have done the sacrificing, but it's also going to set me up with my delta. Again, same as last game, I'm going to do the pounce. I didn't have to do pounce, but had my opponent swapped out, that would have been perfect for me to completely take out one of their dinosaurs without them ever getting a turn. As is, I'm going to do a ton of damage on whatever the next dinosaur they bring in, which is great because I absolutely despise Uterinax. It is the biggest pain in this game for me, honestly, and he's not going to get a turn because I'm going to knock him out. One hit, all the damage, goodbye, see you later, sayonara. And this actually sets me up pretty nicely. I'm probably going to get crit here, and that's going to be the end of my dinosaur, which kind of sucks. That takes away a lot of my advantage that I was counting on right there. Hope that I can survive, and I'm not even going to survive 2 hits here. So that's not good. I have to impact and run. And I'm in a pretty bad position right here. I'm not gonna lie. Where I was in a good position, my opponents hit crit every time, I think. And I'm not gonna survive this. So I went from being in a really good spot to Thora coming out and going crit, 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 and there goes probably like only 27 trophies, so can't get the wins, you know? It's but it's kind of been like that, and you see what I mean by the weaker dinosaurs, the faster dinosaurs being weak, and it kind of being a liability sometimes. One final battle here, 1 win, 1 loss so far. I'm going to, again, open with my Indoraptor. I open with Indoraptor because it gives me the best opportunity just to flat out go 3-0 on my opponent. Again, I'm going to go evasive stance. And my opponent didn't, and my opponent hit crit. So now my opponent's going to go evasive stance, and it's going to set them up to get an attack on my Indoraptor. That was fortunate. They had it set up so that they were going to get an attack on my Indoraptor with the shield down. Fortunately for me, what do I want to do here? And look at this, like, I'm in Lockwood Estates, and my opponent has a 24 Indominus Rex, and again I didn't dodge, and a level 24 Suko Tater. Fortunately for me, I'm going to be able to be a lot faster. I wonder what 20 plus dinosaur I'm going to go up against this time. Probably 23 or higher, 22, so I was very close. Straight going for the stun, and when you don't get the stun, that's bad news, man. No real option here except for to impact and run, and in fact, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just flat out going to ditch and bring in my Raja for the straight counter attack, because I thought they were going to go with Rampage and just try to knock me out. That's actually pretty interesting that my opponent decided not to go with Rampage and went with the shield. Because yeah, like, my 2 big hits there didn't do anything, but like, I think the better play would have been to just go for the Rampage and try to get the knockout. At this point, I have no idea what my opponent is doing. Like, I have no idea. They're playing very counterintuitively. I mean, maybe it's gonna work out for them. Ferocious. It's maybe a mistake. I maybe should have gone for the Stegodius. Which now I'm definitely going to go with Stegodius. That would be dumb to stay in there. But at this point, I just need to get a turn where I can attack. And then I'm going to get to go first. They're probably going to swap out. I mean, I say they're probably going to swap out, but I've not really been right on anything yet so far. Tragodis is, I think I do 1800 damage, and I don't. Like, barely 11. I'm gonna throw up my shield. I think they're gonna go long invincibility just based on previous experience.
Alright, I'll see you over there.
This isn't looking good. Luckily for me, I did put my shield up. But I'm not convinced that I'm even gonna get an attack off again against my opponent when they don't have the shield up. Hopefully right here, they lose their instant invincibility. I get to go first, and I'm going to use my rampage, and that was way, way, way more difficult than I think it probably should have been, but watch me only get like 22 trophies for that. 25. So that kind of tells you like how much higher I was ranked than my opponent, yet for whatever reason I struggled to put them away. Now I'm going to start another 3-hour incubator, and I'm going to open this up. I'm approaching 1 million coins, and I really don't have anything that I want to spend them on. So we have Suchomimus, there you go, Edmontosaurus, and one of the new Sauropod, I think. Drago continues to move up, but like I was saying, like Lockwood Estates is the last of the before you move up into the next level, and it's 3 stars gold. So the next one, I think it's 1 star platinum or diamond. So anyway, good to be back. I know I said this before, but this should be the start of consistent videos again. I have high expectations for 2019 with this channel, so glad you guys are here for it, and until next time.